Hello, friends, and welcome. I am the Exiled King, welcoming you back to the Armored Core Project. Now, you have to pause for dramatic effect, just so you know. It's more of a rule, not so much a practice. You gotta pause for the dramatic effects. You gotta get them in there. All right. Anyway, this is an update video. As you can see, I have the ability to record. Hope you enjoy watching my mech. This is my next Armored Core 4 answer. Gallivanting about, being an absolute Chad of a machine. And, it's one of a few builds. If I pause for a longer moment like I just did, it's because I'm fighting a yawn. I'm trying my hardest to not yawn on mic. My cat is sleeping in my lap, or at least lying here relaxing, trying to cat nap. She doesn't get to do this for days, so I'm stuck here probably forever. But if you want to support me in what I'm doing, you can do so via Cash App and PayPal, and I can actually be able to afford food. That'd be good. Because right now, it's either gas or food for my cat, which she does need more dry food, so it would probably go to her and gas. And I'll eat eventually. Eventually, as I'm like probably one meal a day. That's about all I can budget for. Sometimes breakfast, because reward points for companies I've already thrown lavish amounts of money at in the past. Back when I had it. And it makes me, like, I try not to think about it, but like, I used to have money and a better financial situation, you could say, so to speak. And if I'd have known then what I know now about everything that I needed to have to get this going, to get the project going and underway proper, this had already be done. I'd be done. And there's no telling what I'd have made by now. Like, as far as like content and stuff like that. But everything happens when it's supposed to, right? And that's the Zen way of looking at it. It's all in good time, I think. Everything is on time. We are exactly where we need to be, and exactly when we need to be there. So, that's the Zen way of looking at it. I've got a complicated background. I'm gonna say that. Anyway, let's talk about the project, since you can see that this is an update video that has a significant update, because that means that I can now start doing the things that I need to do. Assuming I have the time. And I have to make time for this. I need a routine. And the easiest way to get that going is to find a little bit more financial stability. But the best part about that is that with routine, I have a way to structure my life. So I have a generalized schedule at work. I've got a generalized routine at home. It's just a matter of being able to afford my routine, and by that I mean affording the gas. Because I do have a 4.7 liter V8. I call her Sarah the Silver Dragon. That's the name of my Jeep. And first ever vehicle I've ever owned. First ever vehicle I got to properly drive. And the only vehicle I've ever actually wanted. So, yeah. I'm not some trend chaser too. I'm not like I'm a legit Jeep guy. Like I'm a legit Armored Core guy. Like I'm here for it. And as you can see, I am enthusiastically either getting smacked around right now. I'm not watching the video itself, because if I did, I would be distracted with how beautiful and immaculate my next Exile is. This might be the Exiled King variant, I'm not sure. Either way, pilot name is Lloyd, which is the name of the main character, or one of the main characters from my story that I've been writing for the last decade now, that has been changed and restarted and reimagined and all that stuff, or revisioned so many times throughout the last decade, that it vaguely resembles the thing that I started with, only in a few important notes alone. So, what you're going to be seeing with gameplay footage and all that stuff, that Lloyd is a different one in the sense of it is my character adapted. And what the project is hasn't been fully actually explained yet. And I want to go into that for this little video. You'll notice the runtime is awfully long, but it's because I want to explain the project. This isn't just an update video, this is an explanation video. And I have an update as well on like how I view the project, because until I sat down and actually wrote out the missions and who they were for, and with my understanding of the characters I'm going to have, and everything that I'm going to do, the story that I wish to tell, and how the dialogue overall will go, I am hit with this realization. The realization of there might be 3 different endings for Armored Core 4 Answer, but if you arrange the videos, if I arrange the videos that I'm going to record in the right way, or do the story in the right way, the missions in the right way, I can tell one complete story with an actual, how do I describe this? I guess complete resolution, a final resolution, a fully realized story, I guess is what I would say. Because some of the missions tend to rhyme, and if you do this the right way, they rhyme in such a way that you might be choosing one side or the other in the immediate mission selection for the story, but if you do what I'm going to do, you will tell both sides of that story. Does that make any sense? Like, yeah, you choose Orca, or you choose the League, or you choose Destruction, but barring the Destruction path, you choose Orca or you choose the League. So there are 2 sides to the story. Whenever you're given the choice of which side you choose, you are choosing which side of the story gets told and ignoring the other one. Well, me being the clever and dashing young man that I am, at the, I was gonna say, fresh young age of 30, which to the older people out there, I am very young, and to the younger people out there, I am very old. To me, I'm enthusiastically ancient. How about that? That's how we're gonna put that. Enthusiastically in the sense of I've got more energy than I give out, and I don't waste my energy on things that aren't worth it. So I've got the wisdom to know what to spend the energy on, and this is something to spend the energy on. So now it's just finding the time. The way that I'm going to tell the story, the way that the missions can be told, or the pieces of the puzzle can be placed, is I can tell a full story, and you will see how this ultimately affects the overarching story of the game itself. You will see both sides of this coin back to back. I'm going to show you the coin, not one side or the other. I'm not going to be like, hey, look, this is Tails, and Tails is this good one, and then be like, in the other hand, be like, hey, this is Heads, and Heads, this is the good one. Like, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to be like, hey, here's a coin. Look at that, Heads and Tails. Isn't that cool? It spends the same. So, it's all money, baby. Let's go. And that's it, you know. That's the way that I look at it. What I want to do is, I'm going to have, here's the project. Here's the Armored Core project, laid out, laid bare. The Armored Core project is me telling a story of 4 characters who are from Linark, who were there whenever it was founded, and when they saw the direction it was going in, they left. And 10 years passed, and then you have the events of Armored Core 4 Answer. With the attack on Linark that they are not a part of, I'm going to have a third party, so to speak, that doesn't count this group. A third party attack Linark. There are certain missions in the game, anything involving attacking Linark, or the two missions, attack Line Arc and defeat White Glint. Or not defeat White Glint. What is it? The occupation of Arteria Carpals, I think. The very last mission on the destruction path. So attack Line Arc and occupation. The what is it? 5v1 fight. I'm going to have those be the two of the excluded missions that I'm going to actually use clips from to show this third party. This third party is relevant to the after story, so to speak, because I'm writing my own after story. And it's this after story that's going to pay homage to everything that came before. This is my love letter to Armored Core and to From Software. And I want them to see it. I want them to see what it is that we can do when left to our own devices with something that's as open as Armored Core 4 Answer is. And it is quite open. There is all kinds of room for play in Armored Core 4 Answer. You just have to know where you can play at. And I know exactly where I can play at. So I'm writing out the missions, selecting the ones I'm going to use, who they're affiliated with, and who's going to do what mission. The easiest way to look at this is the group of the main characters that I'm going to be telling the story from their point of view. I guess you could say the returning pilots, the returning links, returning from their life abroad for the last 10 years. Because the world is bigger than the few places that we see. They're going to play both sides of this conflict between the League and Orca and expose I guess, instead of being like, hey, Orca's the good guys, or hey, the League is the good guys, they're going to be like, hey, both of these sides, both of them are the bad guys, and you all are just trading one tyrant for another. So how about we free everyone? Remove the tyrant completely, because if we don't, then nothing will change. And then that's the story, so to speak, I guess you could say. It's not, I mean, it's not really, but not enough of the story. It's the overall idea. It's the same idea of whenever a rebellious faction removes a tyrant from power and they take over, that rebellious faction merely becomes the next tyrant. And given what we understand about the story of Armored Core 4 Answer, I would say that the tyrant is manipulating both sides of the conflict for their own gain, but it takes an outside party to see that both sides, or both perceived sides of this conflict are really just the same puppeteer pulling the strings on both puppets. And they wish to expose that, so they play both sides against the middle. And it's a team of 4 versus 2 massive organizations. And I wish to have it be told in such a way that you all will be entertained. You'll see something you've never seen before in the sense of storytelling. You might have seen the missions before, but you've not seen how this story is going to get told. You've not heard this dialogue. You've not seen the game laid out like this. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. A very long time. And it has changed forms over the years. It has changed, I guess you could say, rhythm and intent. And it went from 1 character to 2 to 3 to back to 1. Now it's up to 4. Because 4 is the adequate number that I need. And I just so happen to have people who are willing to voice act for those characters. And I'm able to do 1 myself, and there are 3 others that I've got that are willing to do theirs. Because when I write stories, I don't realize it immediately in the moment whenever I'm developing characters, but it occurs to me that, well, this character is a lot like so-and-so that I know. And being inspired by the person in real life, I feel like it would be nice to have the person that inspired the character voice the character. So, as luck would have it, they're all interested. And I'm quite lucky to have them. So, I would consider this a big win for me. The biggest win being that I've got you all there who are subscribing and checking my stuff out. I've got the remaining community that's out there, that's active wherever it can be, or wherever it is active. I've got you all out there. I've got to go to you and find you, but which I'm saying that in this recording now, but I mean it's the way that it is. I've got to go and find those who I'm seeking to appeal to and to make sure that they can actually be appealed to. This isn't going to be for everyone, I imagine, because you do still have those old fogey-style holdouts that are like, oh, hey, not a fan of the newer stuff, but I'm only interested in the older things. Those are the better games. That's fine. I'm paying homage to your favorite game, so you might want to at least check it out a little bit, because that's what I'm doing with the after story. I guess you could say, final resolution of the final loose end to be tied up. Because, like I said, you have the four main characters who are from Line Arc, and they are brought back because of the attack on Line Arc that was done so aggressively, and that brings them back. They're like, alright, look, this conflict is getting out of hand, and now there has been direct aggression and attack on Line Arc itself. So, conflict out in the middle of nowhere, away from innocent lives, is one thing. Conflict at home, where the innocents live, that's another. And they come back. Well, who was it that attacked Line Arc? Who was it that destroyed... Oh yeah, that's something else. Destroyed Cradle 3. I'm going to use footage from that as well. Things that I record from that. I'm gonna cut these together. And, like, yeah, you know, the group that is from Line Arc, they're called the Reclaimers. And that's what they do. They seek to reclaim. They want to reclaim the future of humanity. They want to reclaim the freedom that humanity used to have in ancient times, which to us is modern, to them is ancient. And they want to give the choice back to humanity instead of being dragged along in these little squabbles and conflicts. They want to reclaim the freedom and give it back to humanity. That's their whole point. So they call themselves the Reclaimers. And the thing that brings them back, the third party, I'm going to call them, that brings them back, it's the homage. It's the after the conflict between everything, or between the two sides, is resolved. Both sides have been expended, and the last man standing, so to speak, is the Reclaimers. And the satellites, the anti-satellite cannons, or whatever they are, after the anti-satellite cannons have been fired, and the path to space for humanity has been cleared, who is it that comes out of the shadows? Who is it that caused this conflict to really kick off in the first place? That brought all of this to fruition? And that is the question, so to speak, is who caused all this? Well, they step out. After everything's been resolved and the path to space is clear, now they make themselves known. Now they want to take their quote-unquote rightful place, as they see it, atop the throne of humanity, and they wish to explore space and colonize and reap the resources and establish bases on other worlds. And with that ambition comes the corruption, and with that corruption comes the destruction, the ultimate destruction of humanity. Again, it just takes longer, and it removes the choice with this level of power that this faction wields. So it's something that the Reclaimers during the cutscenes that I'm going to be making, they're going to discuss it here and there. Little events that have happened here and there. And I'm going to reference other games too, and then I think about it, I'd like to. Like, for instance, talking about Navis, like a small up-and-coming company that's not yet a part of the league, named Navis, found something, or found evidence of something somewhere off in the world or whatever, somewhere they've been. I want to reference their own history for the last 10 years in them exploring the world and encountering places that have only been talked about in other games. I want to connect the other games, so to speak. I want to connect the worlds a little bit. The different timelines. I want to see if I can create an axis that they can all pivot on. Like, it might not be the same timeline, but those companies still exist in this one. That there are references to them in this one. I think that'd be fun. And to do that, I'm going to need more time, obviously, but that's all this is anyway. It's a labor of love and time. And my beard is itchy. Need to shave. That to do. But I want to reference the older games, and part of me saying this in this video is so I have a point of reference. Anything that I say in this, don't like expect me to forget. I can come back to this and listen to this, and oftentimes I actually do. I'll check my stuff out. Like, if I upload a podcast episode, I'll check it out. You know, I'll listen to it a bit, or anything that I thought, oh yeah, that's right, I had really good ideas on this one, I need to check that out. I'll listen to it again and I'll see what's going on. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was totally right. Yeah, no, that's something I definitely need to do, like stuff like that. So I'm not going to lose any ideas that I spew forth on this. But that, that comes with hindsight whenever I can be like, what was that? Oh yeah. What exactly did I say? Let me go back and watch the video and hear the recording. So, perks of this. But I've got excited and willing voice actors. I've got the missions laid out. I've got character designs done for the next. I've got pilot names, A.C.E names. I've got the factions, their goals. I've got all my references made, with the exception of maybe 2. And if I'm not mistaken, they're from Armored Core 4 itself. I want to reference 2 people from that one, I think. 2 from that one, because it was such, it's literally 10 years ago in the storyline of 4 and 4 Answer. So in that timeline, it's only a 10-year difference. So having them suddenly reappear after 10 years would be interesting. The 2 characters that are going to be referenced, the 2 that I'm going to reference anyway, I think it'd be interesting. And with those videos, the after story stuff, those videos will be a little bit shorter, leading up to a hopefully grander conflict. The thing about those videos is I'm going to need somebody to play the reference characters, so to speak. I'll need someone who I can trust with this, who isn't going to spill the beans. Someone who I can keep in confidence. And I might see about King 44, if King's up for it. Used to have a friend back in the day who totally would have done the builds, but then they vanished off the face of the earth, never to be heard from again. So no idea what they're doing. Hope they're doing all right. But I need somebody who I can keep in confidence, who isn't going to spill the beans on this, because this is going to be a big deal. I want this to be the genuine surprise. I want it to be the surprise. So if I'm getting anything as far as assistance goes, it's got to be somebody who is willing to keep it a secret. because it's gotta be. It's just, it has to be. It's gotta be kept a secret. Um, what I would like is someone who's willing to follow the designs that I give to them to the letter. Um, Tuning will be completely up to them. As far as the fine tuning goes, I just need them to use the parts and have the color scheme. Um, the emblems are going to be real simple. So because the faction, the references are all the builds that I reference, they're all part of the same faction, and the faction I kind of want to I kind of want to tell y'all. The faction is called, I'm gonna do it. The faction is called the Fallen. The Fallen being that they're all beings, they're all pilots from the past who have ultimately lost. They are lost to time. They fell from grace, so to speak. Um, they were defeated, and you're gonna see a lot of designs and color schemes reminiscent of um, pilots from from ages past. So um, whether they're good or bad, I don't know all of them. Uh, I know you fight all of them at one point. Um, I believe anyway. I don't have it loaded up right now. Like I said, I'm not seeking distraction, but I just know I'm excited for this. I hope you all are as well. I think it's going to be fun, but I want to pay homage, and I want to expand on the world of Armored Core for Answer, as well as the overall universe of Armored Core. And I want this to be something that can be done with genuine love and passion, because that's what I have for this game. I mean, I've been playing it for a very long time now, so there's no reason not to. But all that aside, if this interests any of you, then please, by all means, drop me a comment down below. Hit the like button if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon for notifications whenever I upload in the future, because once this starts and gets steady, actually, whether it's steady or not, I'm going to be doing these and uploading these. So, because I have everything I need now, it is all constantly set up. I can do this literally anytime when I've got the time. So, I'm going to be doing this, and I'm going to be steady with it. So, if you want to support me, you can do so. If you want to do so monetarily, you can do so via Cash App or PayPal. Cash App is #discount Walter White, all one word. You can check the description for that as well. There's also PayPal with @INSOA117. That is INSOA 117. And anything at all that you can send would be greatly appreciated. Contributors or anyone who sends anything, you'll be given a shout out in the video. The bit video following your contribution, and as well as any future videos for those who make recurring donations. I just want you to know you're all Chads, and I absolutely love all of y'all. Y'all are great. Y'all are the reason why I keep doing this, why I keep going, because I want to bring you something you've never seen before and tell you a story in a way that you've never heard it before. And I think that you all would really dig this. I put a lot of time and effort into getting this set up, and a lot of money too. And I'm hoping that with all the time and effort left that is still to be, I guess, utilized, that you all would truly enjoy this as much as I'm going to enjoy making it. So, y'all stick with me, keep coming back, and have a good day. Other than that, I'll see you out there.